Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Khalil Doheny, and I'm the Director of Content Marketing at Digital Niche Agency. Today, we have Sanjay from We Thrive. Sanjay, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. It's great to see you, Khalil, and thank you everyone for joining.
Of course. And, it looks like we're already having a big group coming in, but Sanjay, while, more people are coming in, do you want to just go into a background of yourself and really what we can expect from the webinar today?
Well, look, let me start by thanking everyone for their time and their interest in We Thrive. I'm going to start by telling you about my background. So from my name, Sanjay Batra, you might be able to guess I'm originally from India. I was born in India, raised in Canada. In fact, at this moment, I'm in my hometown of Ottawa, Canada. My mom is 86. My dad is 88. I'm here to spend a few days with them. My dad is undergoing a medical procedure, and I'm here to offer support to my parents. So I did my PhD here in Ottawa in physiology. And after my PhD, I lived abroad. I lived in Japan and Switzerland. I did 2 postdocs with world-renowned scientists. And then I moved to the United States and I entered into the healthcare and pharmaceutical industry. I've spent my entire career, 30 years in healthcare, pharmaceuticals, biotech, startups. And my last corporate job was at Johnson and Johnson, where I was vice president of development for Asia Pacific and Japan. And for the last 12 years, I've been a serial entrepreneur working on innovation. And We Thrive is a company based on innovation in hair and skin. So that's a little bit about my background.
And Sanjay, you are running a crowdfunding campaign for We Thrive. And really, this webinar today is to give people a little bit more insight, not on just the company, but a little bit more insight on the crowdfunding campaign. With that being said, I do want to drop the crowdfunding link here in the chat, just for people who are new to We Thrive and new to hearing about what you have. And yeah, so they can learn a little bit more while we're going through this presentation. And then at the end, we do have we will answer some Q&A. So if anyone in the audience has a question throughout the webinar, please drop it in that Q&A chat box. We want to make sure we answer every single question that we have here. So Sanjay, I'm gonna hand it back to you if you want to go ahead and share your screen and we can get this going.
Thank you. So our company is called We Thrive, and we believe in innovation. We're not looking to be like the next guy, but cheaper or undifferentiated. You see a lot of companies struggle with innovation. Well, that's our greatest strength, is in innovation. I'm going to go through a few slides, and Khalil, if there are questions that are timely, feel free to interrupt me. This is really about you, our potential investors. It's about the questions you have and the transparency that I have as the CEO and co-founder, and I want to do my best to answer your questions today. So our brands are Revive and Mascade. Revive is our brand for hair, and Mascade is our brand for skin. This is my email address. You can reach out to me at any time with questions. If you have questions about the campaign, please contact support@pickmecrowdfunding.com. It's a real pleasure to have everyone here today. And I need to say that we created these products because we found an unmet need. My wife is a beauty enthusiast. She has worked in big companies like Bausch & Lomb, Sanofi Aventis. We both worked at J&J together. And when she would get a facial aesthetic procedure, she was very disappointed with the post-procedure options. And that's why we created the Mascade skincare line. I personally suffered from hair loss. In fact, I have hair loss today. I'll tell you my personal story, Khalil. I hope it's not too graphic for you, but look, I'm 61 years old. I think I'm doing okay for my age, but about 10, 11, 12 years ago, I was in the gym doing military press, and it's still my favorite exercise. And I was doing military press, and I noticed I was losing hair. I was devastated. I was devastated at the thought of losing hair. And I realized that by the time you see hair loss, you've typically lost 40 to 50% of your hair. So we created Revive as our hair product, as something I would use myself. I've been using it for 2.5 years, and I've had pretty good results considering my age. Listen, hair is a very difficult thing. So Those are our products, Mascade and Revive. They both address multi-billion-dollar categories, and we've launched 10 products since January of 2022. I'm very proud of our team and what we've accomplished. And we know this is a hot industry for M&A. We have multiple potential acquirers, and our goal is to find a good strategic partner in 2, 3, 4 years and create a value event for all of us that will be meaningful. So that's an overview on We Thrive. I don't know, Khalil, if there are any questions that pertain to the overview. If not, I'm happy to go into a deeper dive on our products.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any questions at the moment, so let's just keep going, and I'm sure there will be questions along the way. And I actually I saw someone with their hand up. Want to just remind everyone, if you do have a question, leave them in the chat box. Unfortunately, for this event, we won't be taking any live questions. So I'll be asking your guys' questions verbally.
Thank you. So everything starts in our lab. We live in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. These are photos of my wife and I in our lab. I'm a PhD scientist. My wife will tell you she's a biohacker, and she does work with me side by side in our lab. We founded the lab in 2018, and it is the hub of our innovation. A little bit about my background. I have some pretty good academic credentials. I was a former adjunct professor at Wake Forest in the Institute for Regenerative Medicine. My formal training is in cardiovascular physiology. And at J&J, I had cross-therapeutic responsibility working in areas as diverse as immunology, oncology, pain, diabetes, some pretty heavy-hitting areas. And the basis of our brand and our company, We Thrive, comes around the concept of innovation. And it's funny, I started in pharmaceuticals. I moved to medical devices. I still work in medical devices in my lab, but our products in We Thrive are consumer products. That way we have the most impact and connectivity with you, our investors, our friends, our customers. So let me talk a little bit about Revive. This is a drug-free solution. We wanted our product to be safe, effective, and easy to use. And when you look at the two drugs that the FDA has approved in the 1980s and 1990s, minoxidil and finasteride, they have some pretty serious side effects. So we wanted to create something drug-free. Our first study was published in the Journal of Drugs and Dermatology in 2023. Our second study was approved for publication, and it will be publishing soon. We are committed to science, I can tell you that, and our portfolio of products in Revive continue to grow. In Mascade, we started with a professional product. So someone at a doctor's office or a med spa getting a facial aesthetic procedure, anywhere from microdermabrasion to microneedling to resurfacing with CO2 erbium, that entire category was suffering from the fact that someone would have a very painful procedure, spend thousands of dollars, and leave with a little crappy ice pack. So we didn't like that. My wife invented Mascade. She's the lead inventor on that patent pending. And Mascade is a post-procedure mask for in-office care. Beyond that, we've created home masks and anti-aging serums and other products for skin rejuvenation. Our lead product on the Mascade side, you may not have heard of it. There's so much interest in Revive and in hair growth, but we have an amazing product. It's a 2-ounce serum fortified with 3 growth factors and 14 peptides. Exactly the things you lose when you age. And these products support healthy collagen and elastin. It's an anti-aging serum. In fact, it's called Mascade Anti-Aging Serum. And you're going to hear more about that. I'm telling you, I use that product every day. I also put it on the back of my hands, because if you want to know how old someone is, the hands don't lie. So that's a little bit about our product portfolio. I can go into some more detail on Revive, but I stop for a moment in case there are any questions.
Yeah, I see a question coming here around Revive. How long does it take to get a significant hair growth with Revive? I think this person has been using it for 6 months plus.
Yeah. By the way, I see the name of the person. I know him. I know our customers. Every week or so, I speak to a customer directly, and the person who asked that question is a pretty renowned individual. Please, if you acknowledge, you could respond in the chat since you don't have audio, but it's a very good question. Revive starts working right away, but it takes 2 to 3 to 4 months to start seeing the benefit. And the benefit will be small vellus or baby hair. If you look at my before and after photo on the website, I started seeing a result at 4 months. I would say that I got my optimum result at 8 months. So it takes time and you have to be compliant. As with anything, compliance is key. So early benefits in the 2 to 3 month period, better benefits in 6 months to a year, but the product starts working right away.
Awesome. And then, yeah, and then they've been applying it religiously once a day.
Thank you. Thank you for your trust. Are
Awesome.
there any other questions, Khalil? If not, I'll go into a little more detail on Revive.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
Okay, so guys, I'm going to keep this a bit short because I do want to talk about the investment thesis. This is a call in the crowdfunding setting where I hope many of you will consider investing in the product, in the company, towards a meaningful value event. So Revive is an amazing botanical product. It took us 2 years to create the formula, and we're very happy with how it's turned out. In fact, if someone said, Sanjay, how would you change the formula? I wouldn't. We're very happy with the results and the compliance and the elegance of the serum itself. So I told you that the FDA has approved 2 archaic drugs. Minoxidil was initially developed as a treatment for blood pressure in the 1980s. And the side effects of minoxidil include things like, no surprise, changes in blood pressure, but more seriously, things like cardiac palpitations, swollen hands, swollen feet and ankles, big baggy eyes like you've been in a boxing match, swollen eyes, very serious side effects. The other thing with minoxidil, and I don't mean to bash on the product, but everyone uses it in their telemedicine brands of Hims, Roman, Keeps. They're all rehashes of minoxidil and finasteride. The other side effect with minoxidil is hair loss, itchiness. It's very hard to keep using topical minoxidil because it makes your scalp greasy. Our product is exactly the opposite. It goes on clean and clear. The second product, finasteride, was approved in the 1990s for men as a treatment for an enlarged prostate gland, a condition called benign hyperplasia, benign prostatic hyperplasia. And that's a condition that there may be some efficacy for hair. It was eventually approved for hair, but the side effects of finasteride include things like suicidal ideation and permanent, and hear me clearly, permanent erectile dysfunction. We simply don't think it's worth it. We know it's a big market. We have a science-backed product with a science-backed company, and we have thousands of customers all over the world happily using Revive, including the gentleman who I know who asked the first question today. So this is my own result. As I said, it took 4 months to see a benefit, better result optimized at 8 months, and I keep using the product. Here are examples of other men in my age group, maybe a bit younger. This is the longest known follow-up in history, to my knowledge. This is my result at 2.5 years. So
Sanjay,
think about it. If 2.5 years ago I never used Revive, I'd be freaking bald. I would have gone in the opposite direction.
Sanjay,
And
I
I'm
don't think
very proud of this result, and I'm still performing with it.
yeah,
Look at
Sanjay,
the
I don't know if
results.
you're sharing your screen. If you were trying to show the images,
Do
you
you
were not.
not see the images?
No, I don't think you're sharing your screen right now.
Oh, I am, and I'm going to share it again. Do you see them?
Yep, now we see it.
I'm sorry. So this is my result. I described it. This is the results of other men. This is my 2.5 year result. Now imagine 2.5 years ago, if I didn't have Revive, what would I look like today? I sure as heck wouldn't look like this. Look at the results in spot treatment on the left. And the African American lady in the right had an amazing result. She's ecstatic. You can see with African American hair, often if you wear braids, you suffer from something called traction alopecia. We don't treat, diagnose, or cure anything. I want to be clear, but the product has an amazing cosmetic result in people of all types, all genders, all age groups. And look at these two female results. Now, this is 3 months and 5 months after use. You have to be compliant with the product, as I previously mentioned. This is the results from our study in the Journal of Drugs and Dermatology, authored by Dr. Jeff Rappaport and Dr. Neil Sadik, two very prominent dermatologists, one in Englewood Cliffs and the other on Park Avenue in New York City. Please look them up if you'd like. World experts in hair. And I'm going to stop on Revive, see if there are any questions. And if not, we'll talk about our skincare brand, Mascade.
Yep. We have two questions here. The first question is, while there is no evidence that hair loss as a direct side effect of Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, or Zepbound, etc., there is data on hair loss likely due to stress of rapid weight loss on your body, which can lead to temporary shedding of hair over several months. Any thoughts on Revive being helpful here?
Yeah, it's a great and very timely question. If you look at the rise of the GLP-1 agonists, just like you mentioned, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Zepbound, this is going to be the first trillion-dollar category in the history of the pharmaceutical industry. And we think there are going to be things that people suffer from, including hair loss or hair shedding. We have yet to study it formally with Revive, but we think it's a natural product to assess around safety and efficacy in this rising tide of GLP-1 agonists. And by the way, there are more of them coming. I mean, just watch out. And one day these products will be used almost by everyone in microdosing, I predict. So we're very excited about the prospect of Revive being a scalp and hair health product for those people who suffer any side effects from GLP-1, or possibly, just like you said, around rapid weight loss.
And what is the best way to apply Revive?
Yeah, so I'm in Canada, and I think my tube is in my luggage that I brought. Otherwise, I'd show it to you. You can see my video on our website or on YouTube. We have many examples of how to use the product. It's a simple roller ball application. It's a stainless steel roller ball. I just apply it in my scalp. I part a little bit. My hair isn't very long. If you have longer hair, you'll probably want to part it. And then I recommend to massage it in a little bit just to help increase the absorption. But simply in my case, and I treat here, here, and here. So front, crown, and vertex. It takes me about 15 or 20 seconds, and I try to apply the product twice a day.
Thank you. And then seeing another question here. You're targeting both the $8 billion hair loss and $182 billion skincare market. Could you detail your current strategy for each of these markets?
Okay, thank you. So when we launched our first product, January of 2022, we decided to sell it online. So our strategy is to sell our products on our website, revive.co, and for Mascade, mascade.co. We also sell on Amazon and internationally through select distributors. We have a distributor in the Middle East, one in Brazil that will be starting soon, and we're about to get clearance to sell our products in Europe. You may know that Europe is a very stringent market on what they will allow. They have accepted Revive, and we'll be looking for distribution partners throughout Europe. And frankly, on our website, customers from all around the world seem to find us. And so we're looking for channels and partners to grow. In the United States, the funding that we get will be used towards marketing, to product inventory, and new product development. And it's that funding, that growth capital that hopefully will come from this campaign that will allow us to continue to grow and scale. We've proven concept. We need to grow and scale and also bring on new products. And believe me, I have no shortage of ideas for new products to totally disrupt these very large industries of skin and hair.
Yeah, I mean, from seeing it being such a big market, Sanjay, have you seen any successful exits in this market?
Yeah, so maybe I'll focus with hair. Right now, most of our revenues come from hair. There's a supplement, a fish supplement called Viviscal. It's been on the market for 20 some years. They were acquired by Church and Dwight for 150 million euro cash up front. That acquisition happened, I think, 7 years ago. Viviscal was acquired by Church and Dwight. And then the second big exit was to Unilever by Nutrafol, also an oral supplement. Viviscal and Nutrafol are oral supplements. Frankly, they're kind of big pills. They're not that easy to swallow. I wouldn't be able to take them every day. Nutrafol was acquired by Unilever in a transaction we believe to be worth around $1 billion. They also had early funding from L. Catterton and Unilever Ventures. So they were very well capitalized and were able to really dominate in their market growth and in those exits. So those would be the two big exits. There's another exit for a hair product company called K18. K18 was also acquired by Unilever Ventures. And, we're looking to follow in their footsteps. We think these are very impressive exits in the hair category. The skincare category, there are just simply too many things to go on about with these larger companies and indie brands. There's a lot of M&A activity in skincare as well.
Thank you. And have you also approached building relationships with medical offices? And if so, what has been their response to the product?
So we have a number of doctors who've reached out to us, and they carry or sell or dispense, however you'd like to call it, our products in their medical practice or med spa. It's an area that in order to be very successful, you have to hire a sales force. And we don't have the capital at this moment, or at least it's not a priority to hire our own sales reps. Having said that, we are in discussions with distributors and partners and independent reps in the United States. And that aspect of our business is absolutely growing. And I think it will be very important to establish the credibility with professionals, just like you say. So definitely on our radar and something we're working towards.
Thank you. And then one more question. What differentiates you, We Thrive natural formulations from other clean beauty brands in the market?
So I think when you think clean, you really have to look, and you really have to avoid those things that we know about, like phthalates and parabens and certain preservatives. We all kind of get that. Beyond that, is your product vegan? Is it PETA certified? Our products are PETA certified. That's actually a big deal. Some people seem to think they can slap that logo easily, but it involves ethical treatment and things like that. So our products are as clean as they can get. But beyond that, the other definition of clean and natural is that we have minimal ingredients. So I'll share with you our hydrating serum, hyaluronic acid hydrating serum, only has 3 ingredients. I had a major cosmetic company approach me to license that product from us. And I declined, and I looked at the product they were selling on their website. It had something like 30 ingredients. The number of nasty ingredients out there, Khalil and whoever's asking the question, there are so many nasty ingredients. Our approach is minimal and effective.
Thank you. Sanjay, we can continue going through the presentation. Not seeing any other questions here.
Thank you. So I'm going to talk about Mascade, and I'm going to start with our professional series. This is the mask that I mentioned. Unlike most masks on the market that are full of preservatives, that are wet and messy and don't fit, our mask again has minimal ingredients, only highly purified water and hydrogel. And it's cool and calm. It's 2 parts and it fits most faces. And it's the best mask on the market for post-procedure. It's patent pending. We started with the professional mask, and then we created consumer products. Our Mascade routine starts with a dermal roller. You use that to improve absorption. Then you go to the big gun, our anti-aging serum with growth factors and peptides. Then you hydrate with our HA. As I told you, only 3 ingredients, minimal but effective ingredients. And then you end with the consumer mask. Our growth factor serum, I'm going to take a few seconds and dive into this because I think it's relevant. For those of you who are skincare junkies, you may have heard of Skin Medica TNS serum. It's about $300 actually, and it's 1 ounce. Ours is 2 ounces. Did you know that the TNS serum comes from human foreskin tissue? Did you know that? The Neocutis product is also over $200 for 1 ounce, and it comes from the cell line of an aborted fetus. Then you look at these plant and snail products. I call BS on them because humans don't have receptors for plant growth factors or snail growth factors. It's like having a key that doesn't fit into a lock. So this is all marketing garbage, no offense. But snail mucin's hot. Look at it on TikTok. It's crazy how hot it is. Our product is biosynthetic, made in an FDA compliant facility, and of all natural ingredients and peptides. So this is where we go to having clean products with just those ingredients that you need. Here's a result of a, I think, 58-year-old lady at 2 months of using the Mascade routine. I dare say she had a full facial rejuvenation from her forehead to her jowl. You can see the improvement. And this is because we have effective ingredients delivered with a routine, in this case, the Mascade routine. I may be ending my talk now, but I want to talk about some of the people. At the end of the day, your investment is about the people. And look at our medical advisory board. I would submit to you this is the best medical advisory board in the world of any company in aesthetics, of any company in skin and hair. We have plastic surgeons, dermatologists, a cardiologist and a urologist who believe in our thesis. Many of our medical advisors are investors to the company. And we're really honored to have them on our journey. In fact, as you see us grow in 2025, we'll be really focusing in on the medical guidance that they all provide to us. And by the way, that's why I really appreciate the question if we plan to sell our products through medical practices. This is our team. My wife is really a rock star. We formed this company together with a common vision, and we work with the best people in the world. And I'm going to stop there and see if there are any other questions.
Yeah. I mean, before we go into the questions, let's talk a little bit about the investment opportunity because some of these questions kind of tie in to the investment. Let's talk about the crowdfunding campaign. What made you want to start a crowdfunding campaign?
Yeah. So, I've looked at these crowdfunding campaigns personally as an investor, and I found them really interesting. And so I had in my mind the thought that wouldn't it be nice to find a community of people who believe in you, who believe in your vision and want to get behind it, but they can get behind it at a relatively reasonable, minimal investment price. We've raised money before. We've raised it through angel investors, friends and family, but those people typically have put in $25,000 or $50,000 or even more. What I liked about crowdfunding is you can get behind something you believe in at a smaller investment. The minimal investment in the We Thrive campaign is $495 and some change. So in round terms, for $500, you can be a partner in our company and join us on our journey. And I really like that idea, Khalil, that individuals, regardless of where they live or their walk of life, maybe with different aspirations, they believe in our common goal and they want to be part of the journey. And that's why I opened up the crowdfunding campaign. That's exactly why.
Can you talk a little bit more about the market? What about the market really stands out during this campaign?
The market of skincare and hair, or our market?
Both, just as a total.
Listen, beauty is big. Looking your best is huge. When people lose weight and they develop quote unquote Ozempic face or skin sagging, it affects many things. And so we're very excited to be in this space. As I told you at the outset of this call, I'm no young guy. I'm 61 years old, but I'm in the gym, I'm working out, I'm trying to look my best, and I want to use products that I believe in. And by the way, after launching Revive, we realized this very simple phenomenon. You cannot have healthy hair without a healthy scalp. So we took that idea and literally in a few months' time created a Revive scalp scrub and shampoo. It's a detox scrub and shampoo. I encourage you all to buy it and try it. You can take my personal code if you'd like. I'm going to tell it to you on this phone call. It's CEO25. Go to the website and try this scalp scrub. It is fortified with the best ingredients. It starts with Himalayan sea salt as the abrasion, and it has Bingridge oil, tea tree, peppermint, coconut, these amazing products, rosehip, rosemary, and it's a game changer for scalp health. So look, hair and skin are big marketing opportunities. The markets are big, and we just want to play a role where we improve how people feel about themselves and their wealth, health, and wellness. And by the way, it's a Freudian slip. Maybe there will be some wealth in this process for all of us.
I know earlier on in the presentation you talked about a patent. What other current patents have been filled or are pending?
So we have a patent pending on Revive. We filed it in January of 2022, the day before we launched the product. The initial feedback from the patent examiner is favorable around novelty. The patent has not yet issued. That is quite a process, but we have a very broad patent on Revive. We also have a patent pending on Mascade, the mask as a delivery system for serums, including our own, but also for the delivery of things like PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and exosomes. So we have two patent pending with additional intellectual property that we're working on.
Thank you. And then how does your team's background in aesthetics and beauty influence your approach to product development and market strategy?
Yeah, so, our team is really brought together of people who share our vision and our ethos. So I think it starts with the diversity of our team. I'm the oldest guy on the team. The youngest person is 25, maybe. My wife and I met her at a restaurant. She was a recent graduate of marketing from Temple University, and we liked her and we got along and we hired her. So our strength of our team comes from the diversity. People not only of different ethnic backgrounds, but of different ages, of different genders, and different points of view. And we put that all together to create We Thrive. It's people contributing with different points of view. And our team lives everywhere. Jeff Rappaport is in Englewood. Nick Sadgrove currently lives in Australia. Erica is the marketing person I mentioned. Sarah lives in Tulum, Mexico. So we have people really from all over the world. And it doesn't matter where you live. If you want to join us on the journey, reach me. If you want to invest in We Thrive, we would be honored. And please join us and help us create this ascent and growth in a very major market opportunity with a tremendous opportunity to exit with multiple potential acquirers.
And then have you established any key partnerships?
Yeah, so we have very strong distributor partnerships that are working well. And I'm in continuous discussions with strategic partners. And I can't say anything confidential, but I can tell you in the setting of hair, there is no single magic bullet. So if you have a product like this and someone has a product like that, that combination might be a better solution, the 1 + 1 = 3, so to speak. So we're in discussions with several companies using complementary technologies to support hair. Some are medical device companies, and some are other cosmetic companies and then some are, drug pharmaceutical type companies. So we think the issues around hair growth warrant combination treatment, and you'll be hearing more about them as those relationships become formal and public and official. But we're small at the same time, and we have to focus on our core business, and that's ultimately our customers. And hopefully, with your investment, we'll have more growth capital to continue to ascend and grow on our journey.
Thank you. And then what has been the response from dermatologists around your product, particularly the hydrogel infusion mask for post-procedure care?
Yeah, we're very friendly with many dermatologists. My wife comes from a background selling products in this space. She sold dermal fillers. You will have certainly heard of the brands if I tell them to you. And I think the dermatology community is super strong. And I'm a scientist. I have a paper coming out next month in the Journal of Drugs and Dermatology in a complementary technology called platelet-rich plasma. So the dermatology community is very strong. We have as good relationships with derms as any company in the world, I feel, certainly as a startup or a small growth company. And we attend the derm meetings. So we really believe in dermatology as being a partner to us. And as you can see from my medical advisory board, we have actually more than the two listed there. We work very closely with many dermatologists throughout the United States and also throughout the world, actually.
Seeing another question here. Is Sanjay@wethrive.com a good email to communicate?
Absolutely. You can communicate to that email anytime.
Perfect. Sanjay, what would you say are the top 5 reasons to invest into WeThrive?
Yeah. I think, well, you have to agree with the first one. And I hope at the end of this call you will. We're very authentic people. I've had the same cell phone number for 25 years. I've lived in the same house for almost as long. And the reason you would invest in WeThrive is for the people. So let me start with that. I think it's very important to believe in us as people who have a common goal and a common ethos. So it's the people. Number two, it's the innovation. I'm tired of marketing companies launching fancy products and throwing a lot of ad spend to create buzz, but that they don't have science. So number two, for sure, it's the innovation. It's the science that we have. And our products actually work. If you haven't tried them, just use the code CEO25 and we'll get product right to you at a 25% discount on top of any discount that may be currently happening on our websites. So I think if you believe in the people, you believe in the science and our innovation, lastly, you'll believe in the investment opportunity. Look, we're not, this is not my first rodeo. And I'm being very honest when I tell you this. I've had a very successful career. I didn't have to go out and do a startup and work 70, 80 hours a week, but I do it because I and my wife have deep passion. So I think it's the opportunity for an exit. And I'm telling you, we have potential acquirers that approach us all the time. We're not the only company in this space, but we know what we're doing. We're not messing around. If you haven't seen my videos on Instagram or TikTok, please look at them. I answer everyone's real questions, and I do my best to be as authentic as I can. And I really hope it comes across to all of you today.
Thank you, Sanjay. Sanjay, I'm not seeing any other questions coming in. Is there anything you want to leave the audience with before we sign off here today?
I just want to sincerely thank you for your time. For those of you who've even heard part of this or all of this, or you'll see it afterwards, time is our most valuable resource. You can't buy it, bottle it, save it, sell it. And we don't know how much time we have. So number one, thank you for your time today. And I hope you'll take a serious look at the investment thesis. The valuation of the company has gone up. When I first raised, I had a $1 million valuation. I raised at 2.5, 5.5, 8, and 10 million. This round is at 16 million. And I don't mean to sound full of hubris by saying we really haven't had a problem raising money. People have found our products, they've tried them, and by and large, everyone loves them. And if you love them as much as us, please join us on the journey and consider an investment in We Thrive, starting at $500.
Thank you. And just want to remind everyone, this webinar has been recorded. So if you want to relive this webinar, or if someone else is watching it down the line, yeah, we thank everyone who joined today, and I hope everyone has a good rest of the day. And go check out We Thrive. Bye bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.